Hello everybody! So a bit of a different video than I usually do. You will not see me dressed up as a penguin today or lip syncing to the hits of Frozen 2. Instead, this is the first in a series of videos that I'm going to do that really has come around from thinking and reflecting, as I'm sure a lot of people are doing now, during the lockdown time, and also taking into account some of the things and feedback that I've had from students about the way they're feeling, about things they're going through at the minute, worries they have. And it's just really made me reflect and think back on my time in school, my time as a teenager, and if I could go back now and tell myself some things and let myself know, some things, what I would do, what I would say. So this first episode is about confidence and self-esteem. And the reason I've started with this is because in a lot of ways of the type of videos that I have mainly been putting out. And students from school will know that at Christmas time we do our 12 days of Christmas, and that generally involves me dressing up and doing silly things as well. And there was a student just around that time who, said to me in one of the lessons actually, I could never do that. Do you not just feel silly? Do you not think how many people are judging me and what do people think of me? And it was a moment for me to kind of reflect and think, no, I don't really. I don't really worry too much about what people are going to think about it and what people's opinions might be. However, reflecting and thinking now, that is something in secondary school that I would have massively worried about. I trained to be a dancer from the age of 6, and in primary school a lot of students, boys and girls, knew that I did dance, but when it came to secondary school, that is something that I didn't tell anyone really at all, and it was something that I was really, really worried about, and my self-esteem and my confidence to let people know about that was really, really low. Each year at my dance school in February, during the February half term, we did a show. It used to be at the Queen's Hall and then at the Brindley, and that was something I absolutely loved doing. But one thing that I did dread was the following week going into school, because obviously some of the other people in my dance school maybe had relations who were at the school, maybe went to the school themselves. So the odd person would kind of find out and come to me and say, "Did I see you in that show?" And half the time I would just lie to them and say, "No, you didn't, that wasn't me." Which looking back now, I'm like, how silly is that? But at the time, I was so worried and scared about people finding out and what that would lead to and how people would view me, and you worry about bullying and all those type of things that I just really didn't want anyone to know. And I guess my confidence, really, my self-esteem kind of grew and developed a little bit throughout school with the support of a lot of the teachers, to be honest, and encouraging me. And then it got to year 11 and there was a yearly kind of dance show at school, a movement evening, and a girl called Heather, who's in my year group, asked me to do like a partner dance with her, and we did, and that was the first time really I danced in front of anyone at school and kind of showed people that I could dance, and a lot of the kind of, what I might classify as the popular lads at school saw that dance show, and I was worried and a bit scared about what they would think, but actually the response from a lot of them was so positive, and a lot of them were like, "Oh, you got to dance with a girl, and that's cool," which I don't know if it is, but apparently according to them it was. So that is something that really kind of changed my perception, and I built up in my head for 5 years what it was going to be like to let people kind of see who I was and what I was interested in. And then the reality of it when it actually came out was nothing like I'd imagined. Like, I really thought and presumed the worst. And that's one of the things now that I look back and think of, do you know what? The time I spent worrying about that, the time I spent hiding that away, if I could go back and tell me now what that would be like, then I would say, don't worry. I would say, just tell people, I would say, do you know what? You can deal with whatever's going to come. But there's probably a lot of students at schools, a lot of you who maybe are worried about telling us or telling your peers about certain things you enjoy, certain interests, what you want to do in life maybe. And then other, bigger issues as well, the things that you're worried about, religion, sexuality, everything like that. And it can be really, really difficult, because we want to fit in and there's peer pressure and the social norms and everything like that. I remember when we went on a school trip to Italy, and I was never a person who bought like all the latest clothes and trainers and things like that. We just didn't have the money as a family to do that. But I did want to try and look my best, because obviously most people just used to see me in school uniform. So we got a travel iron. I actually ended up as the only person on the trip with a travel iron, and lots of the girls came to my room to borrow the travel iron off me. But you know, whatever clothes I had, I wanted to make sure they were pristine and look nice, because again, I was so worried about what people would think and what people's opinions would be of me. And you know, with social media today, which was nowhere near as big as it is now, and when I was at school, there is so much pressure all the time, and it's very, very easy to try and make yourself what you think other people would want you to be, or to doubt the things that you enjoy, doubt the things that you want to do, and to be scared about them. And you know, I completely understand that, but I would still go back now and say to myself, like, don't worry as much as you did about it. So kind of coming back to my first point, when the student said to me, you know, are you not worried about it? And I said no, because if there comes a point in your life where you can not worry so much about what people think about you, and not worry about what everyone's reactions are going to be, it is such a nice feeling. You know, when I started doing the first few videos at school, when I first joined back as a teacher, I was worried, because I thought, you know, particularly with some of the older year groups, what are they going to think, or some of the parents? And the truth is, whatever you do in life, whatever aspect of life you're thinking about, you are never going to be able to please everyone, and your actions are never going to make everybody happy. And for me with these videos, I have no doubts now that there's some people who would watch them and think, cringe, that's a word some of you use, I believe, or you know, what is he doing, what is he playing at, who does he think he is, whatever. But then also I know there's people watching the videos who may find a bit of entertainment out of it. It may just brighten the day a little bit, it may make them laugh a little bit, and if they're laughing at me, I'm absolutely fine with that now, because that's kind of why I do the videos in a lot of ways. So when you get to a point, and hopefully it will come, and I think a lot of people, as you get older and you find your kind of friendship groups and your career and everything, feel a bit more comfortable to open up a little bit. But you know, don't hide away from who you are. Don't worry about people judging. You will never please everyone. What you've got to do is be true to yourself and be true to the things that you want to do, and don't let people tell you what you should do or what you should think. You've got to think for yourself, and people will give you advice along the way, and friends will give you advice, and that's fantastic. But at the end of the day, it is your life, it's your choices that you're going to make. So try and have that confidence in yourself and that self-belief and self-esteem to know that, you know, whatever you want to do is fine, and other people can kind of get on board or go away. You know, and I did have some negative experiences in school, I'm not going to lie. There were some people who made comments about other things, but ask me how many of those people I speak to now. Ask me how many of those people I have on like social media or see in the street or speak to, and there's none of them. So, you know, life comes in phases and you meet different people, and sometimes you'll just have to kind of accept that you're not going to get along with everyone and those people, but at the end of the day, you can make the choice about your friendship groups and who you spend your time with. So that's the end of my first session. If I could go back and tell myself things now, it would be to be more confident, it would be to improve my confidence, have better self-esteem, and you know what, you've just got to be true to yourself and do what you want to do, and those people who really matter to you will get on board with it, and those who don't worry, because just don't speak to them. Okay, well, I shall release another video soon, hopefully. I hope for some of you they may have been helpful in some way, shape or form, and if not, again, it's not for everyone, that's fine. Thank you, bye, stay safe.